Rocket Gyan, my fellow space tubers. So today you must be seeing some revamp in the stream, and I was late, and I acknowledge that uh, just because of setting up the stream and making all those changes. So little bit late. Pardon me for that. But don't worry, you haven't missed any action because the launch has not begun yet, and we will be seeing the launch with you will be seeing the launch with me, so no worries. So just quickly we'll go through everything, and then we'll switch over to the launch stream. So here we have the Rocket Lab launch we will be witnessing today, guys. This company is a big hit because small set market is in the rise, and this one is the this company is the one which provide dedicated missions for the small set market. And yeah, this company is based in US, and but it launches from New Zealand. It has also acquired one launch site in US, but as you can see, the launch sites are in the New Zealand. It has acquired one, but it hasn't launched from there. So that's the thing. And yeah, so if you are new to this here, guys, the super chat is enabled. If you want to help this channel, you can just do it by donating it. As you can see in the bottom right corner, we have the microphone goal enabled. So if you wanna help me improve the quality, then you can surely do that. So let's have a look at the Electron rocket itself. Here we go. This is the Electron rocket, guys, and as you can see from here only that it has a maximum payload of 300 kg. Nominal is 200 kg. Nominal is nothing but you can say, as the name suggests, it is a nominal amount which is normally it carries, but if it pushes itself and makes some changes, and everything gets optimized, then it can take up to 200 kg. Okay, so that's the thing, and it has two stages, and it is a very small rocket, around 18 meters height only. And yeah, it will be going into a sun synchronous orbit. So today there will be 10 satellites. There will be the one kick stage also. This is the kick stage which will be there, and this is the fairing in which you just put in the payload. This is the kick stage, which is an optional apogee kick stage that can execute multiple burns to place numerous payloads into different circularized orbit. So as we have 10 satellites today, so that's why we are using this to put in into different orbits. Okay, then we have the second stage, which is obviously a vacuum optimized Rutherford engine, which is Rutherford engine is nothing but the first stage engine. Okay, and it produces a thrust of 22 kilonewtons. It is made up of all carbon composite material, so it is very lightweight. And yeah, just a sec, let me just see if we have the, no, we don't have the stream till now. Okay, so then that means I can continue. Okay, so as you can see here, guys, these are the avionics. Avionics nothing but the flight computers, and everything is placed inside this. The computing power is there in the avionics. And the new propulsion cycle, of course, it uses does not use a gas generator cycle. Instead, it uses electrical power to rotate the turbo pumps, and that's why it needs a very high power, because the turbo pumps needs to be rotated very quickly. That's why during its ascent, it ditches one of its second stage battery when it you can say gets used up. So it just ditches that, so that it saves on the mass, and it can go more further. That's the concept behind it. Okay, this is the first stage. This is a Rutherford engine. It has around 9 Rutherford engines for the first stage. Each one can produce a peak thrust of 192 kilonewtons, and it has a liftoff thrust of 162 kilonewtons. Okay, and yeah, many components of this rocket is 3D printed, and because of this 3D printing, they have reduced the turnaround time of the rocket. Sorry, turnaround time will take place when it will it will reuse this first stage, and Rocket Lab is planning to reuse its first stage by catching the first stage through helicopter. Okay, so that's a thing. Okay, here we go. And do we have anything right now from Rocket Lab? No. And what does their official handle says? Are we having the launch? Let me just see it. Okay, yes, we do have the launch, but they say that they will go at around t minus 20 minutes. Okay, so I need to adjust the timing also here. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's the thing, guys. And thank you so much for all the love and support you have shown to me. That's why this milestone has been achieved of 1K subscribers. Thank you so much all. And you can just suggest me if we can do something. You can say any changeover that you don't like, whatever you are seeing right now, or something you want to suggest. And one thing I would like to take from you guys only, like we do this thing for every rocket launch, right? The preview kind of a thing, how, as in what is the rocket, what is the flight, what is the payload and everything. But this thing kind of becomes repetitive for some companies and some rockets. So I just want to include something interesting also in this preview, so that it does not seem very boring and all. So if you have any suggestions for that, that would be great then. So okay, yep, we do have the Rocket Labs in focus stream, so I'll switch over to that. Just a sec. There we go. Here we go. Okay, just a sec, guys. Let me just configure. And okay, so you can hear it now. You must be hearing it now. So that's it for this launch, and hopefully we will be seeing everything now. Let's hope that everything goes right. I don't know why today we have very so less viewers. I don't know, but let's hope everything goes right. So the background which you are seeing here is the carbon material, if I'm not wrong, which is there on the rocket, right? If I'm not wrong, that's the zoomed in slow motion cinematic pan view of that thing. Yes, Manat Singh, you are right. It's a very late night here, and let's hope this goes correctly and we will be able to see and experience everything. So now here we go. Wow, there's a new intro. Well, Manat Singh, that's a good question. Can Electron be launched from sea with mobile launcher? Well, that depends on the launcher itself. If the size is small, it can be launched.
Good morning and welcome to the live broadcast of Rocket Lab's 15th Electron launch, the in-focus mission for small satellite operators, Planet and Canon. We're coming to you live from Rocket Lab's Mission Control Center, where it's 10:04 a.m. and we're just 16 minutes away from liftoff at Rocket Lab's Launch Complex 1 in Mahia, New Zealand. My name's Dominic Vu, and I'm an assembly technician for the Electron launch vehicle.
And I'm Ariana Ryan. I've had a little bit of an upgrade since last launch, and now I'm a quality engineer supporting propulsion. Our launch operations team have been on site early today to prepare for this morning's scheduled liftoff at 10:21 a.m. New Zealand time or 9:21 p.m. UTC. Today's Electron mission is our 5th for the year, and it carries 10 Earth imaging small satellites bound for low Earth orbit. Inside Electron's fairing are 9 of the latest generation SuperDove satellites from Planet, the operator of the world's largest constellation of Earth imaging satellites. The 10th and final satellite on board belongs to Canon Electronics Incorporated and was procured for this mission by satellite rideshare and mission management provider Spaceflight Incorporated. Canon's Earth imaging microsatellite sets out to demonstrate some of the latest technologies the company has developed for satellite manufacture, including a middle-sized telescope equipped with ultra-high sensitivity camera to take night images of the Earth, and a small-sized telescope which is suitable for CubeSat use.
Earth imaging satellites play a huge role in helping us monitor change on our planet. They provide actionable data on things like climate change, monitor and respond to wildfires, and they can help farmers to better manage their crops to deliver food to our tables. Now, for more about how we get our customers on board, let's go to Launch Complex 1, where we have Mission Integration Engineer Jane McNichol at Range Control.
Thanks, Dom. It's great to be with you today on this beautiful morning on New Zealand's East Coast. My name is Jane, and I'm a Mission Integration Engineer here at Rocket Lab. Each mission at Rocket Lab is assigned a dedicated mission manager or integration engineer, and we work closely with our customers to help them through the mission process, from the time they sign up for a launch with Electron to integrating their satellites onto the launch vehicle to successful deployment on orbit. Now, I'm standing here today at Range Control, which is about 3 kilometers away from the launch pad itself and the payload processing facility, where the payloads for today's launch were integrated onto the launch vehicle. You can just make it out in the distance behind me. The payload processing facility is home to 2 state-of-the-art clean rooms where our customers can prepare their satellites for launch. But these clean rooms aren't the only ones that our customers can choose from. We have additional clean room facilities at our Long Beach, California headquarters for U.S. customers who want to integrate a little closer to home. And for customers launching out of Launch Complex 2 in Wallops, Virginia, we offer our brand new integration and control facility. Offering such a wide range of payload processing options is just one of the ways that we've created the most flexible and tailored launch service for small satellites. But back to today's launch, the team on console have been monitoring the health of the launch vehicle, including the payload environment in the fairing, as we progress through the count. All systems are currently green, and very soon Canon 2 and the 9 Planet SuperDoves will be on their way to orbit. Back over to you in Mission Control.
Thanks, Jane. So, you're currently looking at a live view of Electron on the pad at Launch Complex 1. Electron stands 18 meters tall and weighs about 13 tons at the moment of liftoff. Electron itself is actually incredibly lightweight due to its black carbon composite structure. Almost the entirety of the rocket's first stage is filled with a mix of propellants for the Rutherford engines. Now, of that 13-ton liftoff mass, around 12 tons is actually the liquid oxygen and kerosene that fuels Electron on its way to orbit. The white stripes you see along Electron indicate where the liquid oxygen is being loaded inside the tanks. Because of the extremely cold temperatures of the oxidizers inside, any moisture on the outside of the rocket freezes in its place and causes those white stripes of ice to appear.
As we approach T-minus 12 minutes, let's check in with Mission Control for the final go, no-go poll.
That's what we are expecting. And yeah, let's hope it's a go for launch. This is a very small team, this Rocket Lab.
All right. To all stations, this is LDR mission. We are now proceeding with the go, no-go sequence. Stage, you go.
Stages go.
Avionics.
Avionics is go.
AFTS.
AFTS is go.
GNC.
GNC is go.
VCON.
VCON is go.
RF.
RF is go.
T1,
T1 is go.
GC,
GC is go.
BLS,
BLS is go.
RSO,
RSO is go.
MET,
Met is go.
MM,
Go.
LD sub,
LD subs go.
and exec.
The exec is go for launch.
In all stations, go no go sequence is complete. We're currently T-minus 11 minutes, 20 seconds.
And we
We're go for the terminal
okay,
count start at
thank you
T-minus
so
10
much. We are
minus
go
time.
for
Three
today's
seconds.
launch. And Mannat says there are aliens in Area 51. Well, nobody knows this. That's a military area, but I don't think so that there's aliens and all is a very
Green across the board.
I
Electron
don't believe
is go
on
for
those
flight.
things, but yeah, that
So,
could be a
Electron
military
is a
area.
two-stage to orbit vehicle. The first stage is powered by 9 3D printed electric pump Rutherford engines, which are designed and manufactured in-house by Rocket Lab. So Ari, as our resident engineer in propulsion, why don't you let us know a little bit about the Rutherford engines?
I'd love to. When Electron was first launched in 2017, these Rutherford engines were introduced as an entirely new type of rocket engine, due to how its propellants are pumped by an electric motor powered by batteries. Today, the Rutherford engine remains the
Okay.
first and only electric pump-fed rocket engine to fly to space.
Oh wow.
And with this mission, we'll have flown 150 Rutherford engines. The Rutherford is also the first oxygen hydrocarbon engine to use 3D printing for all its primary components, including the thrust chamber, injector pumps, and main propellant valves.
That's right. So for the second stage, Electron uses a single vacuum optimized version of this engine. And once it's in orbit, Electron's third stage, also known as the kick stage, takes over and carries out the final leg of the journey to deliver our customer satellites to precise custom orbits. Now, Electron is the only launch vehicle that delivers this dedicated direct-to-custom orbit service for small satellites, even when flying on a rideshare mission. This provides a streamlined path to orbit for our customers and eliminates the added risk, complexity, and cost of having to develop your own spacecraft propulsion or using a third-party space tug to deliver your spacecraft to the desired orbit when flying as a rideshare.
Electron's kick stage, which also serves the foundation for our family of Photon satellites, employs our in-house design and manufactured Curie propulsion system. This 3D printed pressure-fed engine has a flight heritage across more than a dozen orbital missions. It's this unique and reliable propulsion system that ensures the kick stage provides our customers with unmatched flexibility for orbital deployment. It enables orbit raising, orbit phasing of multiple payloads on a single mission, deployment of multiple payloads to different planes and inclinations on the same mission, hosted payload support, and sustained low altitudes. It also
wow.
enables deorbiting
Yes,
to avoid
Mannat, you are
contributing
right.
to the growing issue
ISRO
of
is ready
space
to
debris.
launch its PSLV DL mission of RISAT satellite, and I'll be streaming that. Obviously, I'll be streaming that, and I was literally waiting for so much long that when India will launch its first satellite, and it's 2020 has just is now ready to go, and now they are launching, and I understand that.
All engine blips are
Okay.
nominal, engines are ready, and stage terminal checks are complete.
Thank you, stage.
Stage 1 and Stage 2 high voltage batteries are ready for flight.
Copy avionics. GC, LD on mission, please proceed.
In around 8 minutes time from LC-1's Pad A, Electron will launch in a southerly direction along the east coast of New Zealand, making its way to sun-synchronous orbit and deploying the payloads at an altitude around 500 kilometers above Earth. At about 2.5 minutes after liftoff, the Rutherford engines on the first stage will shut down before the vacuum engine on stage 2 ignites, continuing the satellites to orbit. At around 9 minutes after liftoff, that second stage engine will shut down and the kick stage will separate from the vehicle in preparation for payload deployment, about 60 minutes into the mission. Now, when the kick stage separates from Electron's second stage, it will be in an elliptical orbit around Earth. So after a coasting period, the kick stage's Curie engine will ignite to propel the payloads into a circular orbit around the planet, ready for deployment into their precise and individual orbits. Now, since we won't have live footage of that payload deployment, we'll be ending today's webcast shortly after kick stage separation, at around 10 minutes after liftoff. You can continue following our mission via our social media channels, where we will post confirmation of payload deployment.
So yes, this will be the first launch, and I can understand why ISRO's first launch will be right now in November 6, just because of the COVID situation, and ISRO's rocket part requires very heavy logistics. They don't have any one factory producing every part. They have multiple factories spread all across India, so they have a very big problem with logistics during that time, and that's why. So it's nice to have seeing that they are continuing the launch schedule by November 6. And now guys, only 6 minutes are left for the launch and everything is looking good.
Right now, we're at T-minus 6 minutes to launch. And a quick update on the weather. It's a little cloudy out there today, but we are currently go for launch. Our range control team at Launch Complex 1 has also given the all clear with the vehicle and systems healthy on the pad. Things are looking great for an on-time liftoff today at 10:21 this morning, New Zealand time.
We're excited to be on the pad, ready for another Electron launch. In the world of disruption caused by COVID-19 this year, we're proud to be continuing to serve the small satellite community with timely and affordable access to space. Assured access to space is something that governments and commercial satellite operators alike need to be able to rely on, no matter what disruptions the world might be facing. It's the very reason we developed the most resilient and responsive satellite launch system ever created.
Synchronous
now
is
let's take a look
only.
at how we made that possible.
2 launch complexes, 3 launch pads across 2 countries, insights and data, and to maintain national security. The satellites providing these vital services are vulnerable, be it from natural, accidental, or deliberate actions. The ability to deploy new satellites to precise orbits in a matter of hours, not months or years, is critical to maintaining a resilient space architecture. The loss of a single satellite can have far-reaching consequences. It's why Rocket Lab developed the most responsive satellite launch system ever created. And it all comes down to resilience in numbers. Between Rocket Lab Launch Complex 1 in New Zealand and Launch Complex 2 in Virginia, USA, we can support more than 130 launch opportunities every year. It's an unprecedented level of launch availability that enables rapid replenishment of orbital assets. Resilient space is about being able to respond to evolving situations in real time. It's about having the ability to launch more than one rocket, in fact 3 rockets, from different hemispheres, simultaneously, a capability unique to Rocket Lab. It's about eliminating the fragility and complexity associated with mobile launch infrastructure, and instead enabling instantaneous launch windows from pads that remain in a state of launch readiness 24/7, 365. It's about delivering responsive and affordable launch services tailored to every mission, every time. Welcome to the future of resilient space.
We can't wait to be hosting the webcast for simultaneous missions on LC-1 in New Zealand and LC-2 in Wallops. But for today, we're focusing on LC-1.
As we approach the targeted liftoff time, we're going to hand you over now to listen in on comms from Mission Control for the final minutes until launch.
3 minutes from the launch, and as we can see from the webcast,
LD on mission. We go for auto sequence start at T-minus 2 minutes.
Okay.
And I can confirm at this time LD.
Yes, I was saying Rocket Lab's webcast has changed, and it has changed for good, and I really like that. So let's hope everything goes correctly now. Manat says, can Rocket Lab attach 2 first stages as boosted like fell? Yes, Manat, they have that kind of a thing ready, means in the concept. The CEO of the Rocket Lab, Peter Beck, says that there will be one Electron heavy version also, and they are, you can say, planning for that. But right now, the main, you can say, manpower is determined for making this Electron reusable. So that's the thing. First, they will ensure reusability, and then maybe they will go on to Electron heavy. So right now guys, it's around 1 minute 35 seconds from the launch. Everything is looking good. Weather is cloudy, but we are currently go for launch. And that's really cool. As you can see the fog and everything coming around. This will be secured in a bit, and I can see something. Let first, yeah. The site is looking really cool, and vehicle is in internal power, and I really like the view. I really love this view.
Stage 1 tanks are pressed.
Cool.
And stage 2 tanks are pressed as well.
It is happening, guys.
High flow engine purges enabled.
T minus 30 seconds.
Activated.
Twenty, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
5.
Whoa.
3.
Whoa.
2.
That smoke. And we have a liftoff of the Electron rocket to the sun synchronous orbit with the 10 satellites. This is so cool, man. The smoke, literally that smoke which came off the liftoff pad, the launch pad, literally it was like a CGI to me. Everything was so cool, and now we can see it is going through the clouds.
And there goes Electron for our 15th launch from Rocket Lab Launch Complex 1 in New Zealand, where T plus 50 seconds and Electron is approaching max Q, or maximum aerodynamic pressure, the moment during its descent when the forces against the vehicle are at their strongest.
And max Q has been cleared. And we can see it is a very cloudy weather today. But everything is looking cool. And now the plume is getting wider and wider as it will go up and up in the atmosphere. Wow, man. The speed is around 2,800 kilometers per hour. The altitude is 25 kilometers, and the next event coming up is the MECO and the stage separation, main engine cutoff and the stage separation. The video signal is kinda laggy, but it's okay.
Next up will be 3 events in quick succession. We should hear the call for MECO as Electron's Rutherford engines throttle down to allow for stage separation before the engine on the second stage fires up to continue the mission to orbit.
And they will be recovering this one, means they won't be using the helicopter for the first stage, but they will be collecting it from after the splashdown for further inspection, you can say. And later this year they will be using their recovery methods to recover their first stage booster using helicopter. So that will be a very cool sight to watch. Hopefully they will live stream that part. But right now, and here we go. Oh wow, just see those things, guys. And here we go, the MECO stage separation and the second stage start 1 at the left side, or the right side, which you were seeing was the kick stage, if I'm not wrong.
Successful MECO confirmed by Mission Control. Propulsion is continuing nominally on Electron's second stage at T plus 3 minutes into the mission, with the vehicle now travelling at several thousand kilometres an hour.
Here we
Soon,
go.
the fairing houses will separate and you'll be able to watch them fall away on your screen there. And there they go. Electron has successfully jettisoned the fairing and is continuing nominally towards orbit.
Propulsion is nominal and hopefully it should remain nominal. That's what we require. Let's hope everything is good. It's looking good, and we will be seeing the next event is the hot swap and the battery ditching, which will occur sometime.
For those of you just joining us for today's launch for Canon and Planet, we've made it through liftoff, main engine cutoff, stage separation, and stage 2 ignition. Electron is traveling through space at 9,000 kilometers per hour and is currently at an altitude of 153 kilometers.
Let's hope it makes to the orbit. At last time, when this laggy kind of a thing occurred during this video feed, it actually did went to the, make it to the orbit. So let's hope.
While we're coasting through the vacuum of space, let's delve a bit deeper into Rocket Lab's engines. Each of the Stage 1 Rutherford engines weighs around 35 kilos or 77 pounds and comes in at around 800 millimeters or just under 3 feet. A Stage 1 engine is capable of 24,000 newtons of thrust. Stage 2 is the same base engine with an extended nozzle. This vacuum nozzle increases the size of the engine twofold and adds an additional 1,000 newtons of thrust.
Battery ditching, the silver kind of a thing which you are seeing right now, that silver foil or silver whatever, that's a battery and it will be ditched once it is depleted completely. It's looking good.
Another quick check-in from Mission Control. We're T plus 5 minutes into the flight, and the Electron is continuing nominally through its second stage.
Listen to have. Let's hope everything is good.
Electron's next action will be to swap out the onboard batteries for a fresh new one in what's called a battery hot swap. Let's listen in for the call of that swap.
HBB battery discharge.
Battery has been discharged and they are now waiting for the hot swap to happen anytime now. Throttling down to ditch the batteries. Here we go. Oh wow! As you can see, it just it just shooted off from the back of this rocket.
And we've had a successful battery hot swap. Electron's second stage engine
Thank you so much.
To propel the payloads towards the targeted
at
orbit.
that time what happened, I think the battery must have come into the contact of the plume, the exhaust which is coming out of the rocket, and that's why the shooting of that battery. And that's the second battery and final one only. They don't have the third battery. Once it is discharged, and then it must make it to the orbit.
We're at T plus 7 minutes since liftoff. In the next minute and a half or so, Electron's second stage Rutherford engine will power down before shutting off. We call this SECO, which stands for second engine cutoff, and this allows for a clean separation of the kick stage. Then, the kick stage will light its Curie engine and continue on its trajectory, coasting for a time before relighting its engine to carry the satellites closer to their optimal position orbiting Earth. We'll be ending the broadcast shortly after we hear confirmation of successful SECO and stage separation.
Well, they have significantly changed their webcast. Rocket Lab has changed their webcast, and kinda, it's the host kind of a thing is I didn't like, but everything else was cool.
Okay, entered stage 2 burnout detect mode.
Let's hope it makes it to the orbit.
Guidance is in terminal, 20 seconds remaining.
It's nominal. That sometimes happens when the rocket actually that is okay. If you have played KSP, then you know that the burn happens at the apogee 50% before and then 50% afterward. So it's okay if the altitude is decreasing.
And Seeker confirmed.
You can see the engine on stage
Orbit,
2 has shut
as you
down.
heard from them.
We're now waiting for kick stage separation.
And good orbit insertion.
We've just had confirmation that the kick stage has separated. With another 40 minutes or so until that final Curie engine relights, we're going to end the launch broadcast here ahead of payload deployment. We'll share the news of mission success on our Rocket Lab social media channels within the next hour.
Thank you to our small-sat customers, Planet and Canon Electronics, for choosing to launch on Electron today. I'm Ariana Ryan.
I'm Dominic Vu. This is Rocket Lab Mission Control.
So what happened there, Mannat and Steve, actually the thing is the apogee was not decreasing. Basically what was happening is that it crossed the part of the apogee. So now its altitude is decreasing. That's what was happening there because it crossed apogee. And as you could see also that after just crossing the apogee, it dished the means it stopped its engine because the that fuel was depleted obviously, and then the kick stage was separated. That's what happened there. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and hopefully if we can get anything else, we'll do that in the next launch is scheduled for 4th November if I'm not wrong. That would be of the ULA's Atlas 5 launch, and I'll be streaming that also. And yeah, and yeah, one more thing, guys. If you didn't like any part of what just new things which you are seeing right now, you can just tell me if you have any suggestions for the first part of that preview of the launch. You can just tell me and I'll be happy to hear that. Thank you so much for everything and for your love and support. And yeah, this is Priyanshu Roila, and you just saw Rocket Gyan. Stay safe, stay healthy, and bye bye.